dive right into what happens when our very human obsession with a quick fix collides with a reality-bending gadget. Today, we're breaking down the classic story of the magic time remote. We're going to explore that super delicate balance between actually putting in the hard work and the incredibly tempting allure of just taking the easy way out. So picture this. What if you could literally hit pause on your biggest mistakes? Imagine the absolute temptation of having the power to just undo every single time you ran late or totally messed up. Think about that for a second. We've all been there, right? You sleep through your alarm, you miss the bus, or maybe you say the completely wrong thing in an important meeting. What if you had a remote control for your actual life? It's a fascinating premise, and it's exactly the dilemma our main character is about to face. To really get into this, we're going to look at a classic scenario featuring an iconic cast. We've got Nobita, our protagonist, who seriously struggles with punctuality. Then there's Doraemon, the ultimate provider of incredible world-bending solutions. We also have Jian and Sune, who perfectly represent the intense societal pressure and mockery Nobita faces. And finally, Shizuka, the person Nobita is desperately trying to impress. Watching how these five interact around just one powerful piece of technology tells us pretty much everything we need to know about human nature. Section 1, the relatable struggle. Okay, so we kick things off with Nobita running late for school yet again. But here's the thing, it's not just the clock that's the issue here, it's the social fallout. He is actively laughed at and mocked by Jian and Suneo. He literally runs home crying. You see, he doesn't just want to be on time, he desperately wants to escape that intense humiliation. And honestly, that raw emotional pain is exactly what drives us to seek out shortcuts in the first place. Moving right along to Section 2, the ultimate shortcut. Enter Doraemon. He pulls out a brand new gadget called the time remote. Now, don't let the cartoon vibe fool you. Treat this like a serious piece of world-altering tech. It can pause time, rewind time, and fast-forward time. It basically gives the user absolute dominion over their own reality. Talk about a game changer. In practice, Nobita uses the tool exactly as intended to solve his immediate pressing problem. It's a simple 3-step plan. Step 1, he uses the remote to avoid being late. Step 2, he arrives perfectly on time. And Step 3, the ultimate payoff. He actually manages to impress Shizuka and the rest of his friends. At first, everything goes perfectly. The gadget works flawlessly to completely eliminate the humiliation we saw just a minute ago. It's the dream scenario of any shortcut, right? Immediate results with seemingly zero consequences. Which brings us to Section 3, greed and the glitch. Just take a look at this timeline. At 8 a.m., we have tears and panic over being late. Just 15 minutes later, at 8:15 a.m., boom, perfect timing and social triumph. But by midday, Nobita gets greedy. He keeps using the remote for absolutely everything. And what happens? Complete timeline collapse. The remote completely malfunctions. Suddenly, time starts jumping randomly, causing the people around him to move backward and forward in these bizarre, hilarious ways. The shortcut simply couldn't sustain his constant demands. So here's the real crux of the issue, the contrast between these two approaches. On one side, we have moderate use. Using a tool to fix a specific error, like getting to school on time, yields success. But on the flip side, we have greedy use. When Nobita decides he wants to bypass every single minor inconvenience in his day, the technology just buckles under the pressure. The remote malfunctions, and the very fabric of his day becomes a chaotic mess of random time jumps. It's a perfect visual representation of a system overload. And honestly, isn't this exactly what happens in our own lives? When we try to cheat the process entirely, instead of putting in the actual work, whether we're talking about our studies, our careers, or even our relationships, eventually the system breaks. The temporary fix just cannot hold the weight of constant reliance. Nobita's glitching, chaotic reality is the inevitable result of avoiding effort. There's just no way around it. And that leads us to our final act. Section 4, the best gadget is effort. Thankfully, Doraemon steps in to fix the malfunction. He repairs the gadget, effectively restoring order to the timeline. Once that reliance on the artificial shortcut is finally removed, everyone laughs and goes home happily. Nobita learns a vital lesson here. He is able to clearly see the real-world problems caused by his over-reliance on a quick fix. Because at the end of the day, order and happiness are restored not by the gadget, but by fixing the mess the gadget created. This brings us to a really beautiful concluding thought from Doraemon. Smiling, he drops this wisdom. The best gadget is your own effort. It's such a powerful reminder about the undeniable value of hard work. The time remote was powerful, yes, but it was incredibly fragile and chaotic when abused. Your own effort, however, that's a tool that doesn't glitch, it doesn't jump randomly, and it certainly doesn't break reality. It's the only truly sustainable way to get where you want to go. So, I want to leave you with a final provocative thought to wrap up this explainer. If Doraemon handed you the time remote today, right now, would you use it? Or, knowing the chaos it brings and the immense value of the journey, would you choose to rely on your own effort? It's a real challenge to how we all approach the tempting shortcuts in our daily lives. Thank you so much for joining me as we unpacked the true meaning behind this story. Keep learning, keep putting in that effort, and I'll see you next time.